Man, I wish I had the camera on a minute ago. That was so cool. So I hooked this little cutty, and a bull trout came up and went after him as he was flopping around. Now what's interesting is that I chose today at this spot not to immediately throw a streamer out there, but rather to nymph the hole. Oh, that looked good. But I decided to nymph the hole instead with a one of my rubber leg jigs and a soft bead dropper. So now I know there is a bull trout in here, and this rig that I have on is as much for bull trout as it is for the cutthroat. And that's why I tied it on up at my previous spot. The wind is howling. It's hard to get a gauge of what's really going on with my line, but that is very interesting to me. I've seen that only once before, and it was up in British Columbia, where a big bull trout went after a cutthroat that I had hooked on a dry fly. Well, that's an interesting look. All right, we'll go with it. I'm just trying to keep it right in here on me, because that's where this bull trout was hanging out. This wind is just making it really hard to guess at what's going on, and my knot is not holding my soft bead up anymore, so I've got to increase that size.
but I'll do it, dang it. So that ought to work. And it's heavy enough leader that I don't worry about hooking a big fish. I'm trying to distinguish between what the wind is doing to my stuff and whether they're and if it's a actual fish messing around with it. That looks so good through there. But the fact that my soft bead has slid all the way down to the hook several times makes me think that something's picking it up. Now it could be a small steelhead smolt from the tribal hatchery up from here. I'm getting something happening on virtually every cast, so that could be they might have done a smolt release. Yeah, I gotta say that is a fish messing with it and not a not just a faulty bead. The thing is, something is picking that bead up and moving it on the line. It's usually happening like right here at the drop off into this deep hole. But what I know for sure is that in the midst of these guys is a bull trout. Because he came up and even hung around for a second when he was going after that little cutty. All right, one more cast with this, and I think I gotta put the streamer rod out there. See, just like that. Tangled up and slid down again. All right. Uh-oh. That was my streamer rod behind me that I just heard. There we go. That feels like it's got some strength. Oh yeah. Ooh, I think it's a bull. It is a bull. Oh no, it's a nice whitey. That is a pretty healthy whitefish, holy shit. And that him. Wow. Awesome. All right, so I was blaming, easy boy, these guys tend to go ape shit when you get them in the net. So I was blaming the steelhead smolts for all the little screw arounds. He's all wrapped up in my line. Holy shit. Wonder if he'll slide out of it. No, there he goes. Come on, buddy. You're okay. There we go. That's a good whitefish, though. Alright, you're alright. You're not bleeding. Guy would make a fine meal. like he wants to roll over. There he goes. I hope I was filming. Well, my stick-to-itiveness paid off, and I got a fish to take my streamer right here. He feels like he's got some pretty good weight to him. He's taking line, and I've got the drag set pretty good. If I had to guess, I'd say it is the bull trout that came a-looking when I had that little cutthroat hooked. Let's hope so. Either that or it is a very big cutthroat. Today I'm fishing my 8-weight, so I feel like I can horse this guy a little bit. But he is just bulldogging and nowhere near letting me get his head up. And there is some structure in this hole, some pretty big boulders and stuff that I'm sure he's going to try and get me under. But one thing I like about my 8-weight is it's got a little bit of a fighting butt, which means I can put it against my forearm and get that extra support. It's also 10 feet long, so it's a really cool rod to fight a fish on. It's caught plenty of steelhead and some salmon back in my Washington days, but I'll tell you what, pound for pound, this bull trout is pulling as hard as a chum salmon, for example. He might not be taking the impressive long runs that a chum would, but I think I just about have his head up. Here we go. I've got his head up. He looks to be the size of the one I just saw. Nice. Very nice. And the hook's already out. How about that? That's going to be a cool picture right there. Let's make sure our camera is situated well. Hey, 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 hey. You're going back. That is a beauty. Look at that. I'm going to keep moving my head around to try and get the best picture I can. But there we go, and he's off. Oh my gosh, that is so cool.